All right, I just finished a workout, not the one you just saw. That was a easy run from the other night, but I just finished a 12 by 1K with a 3-minute rest in between it, like a 320 to 340 per kilometer rep. That was the goal. Definitely started, I think maybe under 320, and then probably towards the end creeping towards the mid 330s, but I think I finished pretty strong in the 320s. I'd have to look at the data from that, which I'll throw up on the screen here, but easily one of the hardest workouts I think I have done. Definitely the hardest one I've done in this block. 12K essentially with rest, but at that pace is not easy. I definitely was seeing God for a little bit, but just kind of wanted to take a sec after that workout to just check in, go over the training block as it has been for the last couple weeks, because the last video was just breaking down sunglasses, and this one I want to be a bit more of just like a check-in in regards to training the block and how things are going in that way. So last week was a 70-mile week, which is the longest week that I have had in this block. That is the longest week that I have done, I think, in any marathon training block. And previous blocks I have done, I've peaked at around 65 miles. It is August, the race is in November. I'm doing 70 miles last week, 80 miles, I believe, this week, and then 75 miles next week. So the mileage is super high, but if you remember from a few videos ago, my whole coach's philosophy is like long miles, drilling marathon pace, and just getting really used to running long, running hard while you run long, and I think it's paying off. I think thinking about the workout I just did, that would have felt like an impossible workout, I think, in even like previous training blocks where I thought I was really fit, and now I'm genuinely starting to feel that like transition into like properly feeling things tick over and feeling genuinely fit in this training block, which has been incredible. I mean, it was the type of workout that has me drinking this full fat Gatorade, Midnight Ice. Honestly, is very nostalgic and is hitting very hard. But anyway, this week is a bit of a weird one because I leave on Thursday night, so tomorrow night from when I'm filming this, to go to San Diego for a week. I'm gonna go visit my buddy Ryan, just spend the week with him, just because if
you're in New York, you know, but like August is like a fake month in New York City. Like nobody's here, nobody's really working. It's honestly like a forced sabbatical for me in a way. So I'm going out there for a week to essentially just hang out and train, which is gonna be really nice. I'm gonna try to document that whole week of training, kind of like a California training camp, if you will. I have about 80 miles to hit while I'm there, so that should be pretty fun. Honestly, like the change of pace, probably the drop in humidity because the weather in New York has been brutal, very hot, very humid days for these runs. So training out in California should be pretty nice. I think it will most likely be just as hot, but maybe a little less humid. Than, if anything, just a change of scenery. I have run every single crack on the east side of Manhattan and Central Park in the last few months, and I'm ready for a little change of pace. So while I'm out there this Sunday, I have a 20-mile run with the last 6 miles at marathon pace, which should be a real test. I did 16 miles 2 weeks ago, 18 miles this past Sunday, so this is 20 miles this week, and then I think I go back down to 18-mile long run the following week. But navigating the travel and the training for like a very important week in my training block is something that I definitely plan on documenting how I'm going to go about doing that. But like I said, if anything, it'll just be a nice change of pace to train somewhere different and somewhere beautiful too. San Diego's an amazing place, and probably hit some in and out again after my runs, which I've been craving ever since I was out there, which was documented here, my very first in and out. So I'm hoping to get number 2 while I'm out there. With that being said, a lot of recovery to be done here. I'm gonna finish this Gatorade, all 48 grams of sugar in this, and then a cadence as well, some more real hydration. So I have to pack, get everything together that I am bringing for that trip, for a nice long training camp out in California. I am packing for the trip to San Diego here, and as I was doing it, I thought might be helpful, useful, or just interesting what I am actually bringing, because I got 9 runs in the 7 days that I am there, just kind of the gear that I'm going to be bringing with me on this trip. So first and foremost, I'm just going to be bringing 2 pairs of shoes. I will be bringing the Pro 4s with me, and mostly for that 20 miler with the marathon pace. I want to be doing that in like racing shoes just to get a feel for what I'd actually be doing on the day. This will be for the 20 miler, and then the only other pair of shoes I'm gonna bring with me, because I just don't want to bring like 6 pairs of shoes, is of course the Hyper Boost Edge. Still the shoe that's getting just about the bulk of all of the miles I'm doing. Been wearing the second pair a lot more than that first pair that I had now, but still wearing those, to be honest with you, and they are still holding up very well. But just to space out the mileage, been wearing these, and I'm gonna be bringing these for just about all the other runs I'm going to be doing while I'm in California. Now, as far as gear that I'm bringing, I'm going to be bringing the Hydro Pack because I'm going to be needing this and just keep water on me on the runs. So it's an easy, light thing to pack. As far as nutrition and hydration, I actually ordered some Morton and some Cadence just to have out at my buddy's apartment, because I figured it would be much easier than just like traveling with a bunch of gels. I don't know about you, but having had issues with like traveling with gels and powders in the past, I just thought it'd be easier just order a new case straight out there than dealing with that. And also the Cadence, because I can't really travel with that, but I like to keep things as consistent as I can. And with Amazon, just ordering a case of stuff just so you can maintain routine, as opposed to having to like go out and try to find something, go to a grocery store or whatever. Just having the things that you know you like and the things you know you want to have available to you, that's such an easy fix when you're traveling. Rounding out the rest of the gear that I'm bringing though, I've got the Oakley 2020s, because I'm still very much so in a honeymoon phase with these. So I'll be bringing this pair of glasses, and then just for variety and just glasses that I can wear when I'm not running, I'm gonna be bringing the Gentle Monsters as well, which I actually wore on my run this morning. So these are still holding up very well as sunglasses to run in. I also think, as far as recovery is concerned, if I have room in my suitcase, I may just bring my Normatex, because I know after that 20 miler, I'm really going to want a little bit more than just like throwing my legs up on the wall. If I have the room, I think I'm going to do that, but otherwise I'm just gonna be relying on a foam roller. And then lastly, as far as clothing goes, I'm gonna be bringing a few pairs of half tights, but mostly split shorts. As someone who was a big half tight guy for a long time, this summer, maybe it's just like the heat and all the rest of it, I've been leaning way more in the direction of split shorts, partly because I used to always like running with my phone phone, having my phone. Now that I run with an Apple Watch, I don't really need my phone when I run. In fact, I kind of like not having my phone when I run. So for that reason, I don't really need all the storage and pockets that you get in half tights. And I've been leaning way more on split shorts and just finding a lot more enjoyment and comfort in those. So with that being said, what I'm bringing bottoms wise, I got 2 pairs of the UVU split shorts. These are like the version 1. I think they updated them in one of the more recent drops, but I'm still rocking the original ones. I've got these in the black and then the gray. Then I've got this pair of Adidas Adizero split shorts. These actually do have really nice pockets for gels and a phone. So if I want to bring my phone, I can, but these split shorts will definitely be coming with me as well. And then as far as half tights, the UVU Elite half tights, these are so much better than the regular ones. The material, the fit, all of it I like so much more than like the regular ones. The Elite drops, I know they only did twice, I think. So if you were able to get a pair of these when they did come out, these are much, much better. I hope they return to this material in the future with a reflective logo, and just like the comfort in these is next level. So I will be bringing these. And then the other pair of half tights that I'm going to be bringing are these Cieli ones, which I think are also from their like Elite line. And the pockets in these are unbelievable. There's so much storage. You got pockets down the sides, 2 pockets both sides here. You got gel pockets, you got a big phone pocket in the back. They are on the thicker side, but these Cieli Elite half tights are really nice. As somebody who's like just not a Cieli guy, if I'm being totally honest with you, not really my look, these like all black, minimally branded half tights are very, very nice. So that is the bulk of the running stuff that I'm gonna be bringing out with me to San Diego this week. I will do my best to document that entire week of training while I'm out there. It should be a good one. And then I am back in the city for a few days before I fly out to Stockholm for the half marathon, which will all be documented as well. So some good fun travel coming up. So that being said, I actually gotta get all of this in the suitcase and packed and then get to the airport. I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you in the next one.